What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Zach Law Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Isaiah, and today, y'all, we have another 2024 WNBA team preview. And the team we have is the Phoenix Mercury. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. All right, y'all, so let's get into the Phoenix Mercury strengths. I think their first strength is that they are a super deep team. I mean, when I look at this roster, y'all, I see 10 women that could play 15 minutes or more a night. That is how deep and talented this team is. They did an amazing job, y'all, of going out in the offseason and acquiring depth, right? But not only acquiring depth, they went out and acquired good players, right? As y'all see the two women on your screen, Kalia Copper and Tasha Cloud, they went out and signed them, which was very, very important for them to do that, y'all, because this is a team last year, right? They only won 9 games. They did not have a lot of depth. They needed to go out and acquire depth and acquire talent. They did that. So you have Tasha at the point guard. She's one of the best point guards in the league. Really good passer. You have Kalia Copper at small forward, y'all. We know Kalia Copper, she's tough. She's hardcore. Really good two-way player, very good slasher. She has a mid-range game that's very similar to DeMar DeRozan, so you really love her. Obviously, you still have DT at almost 42 years old, who's still a really good player. She averaged 16 points per game this year. I think DT is still going to be good this year. She should be even better because now she's not going to have so much on her plate because they do have better players around her. And then you have BG, y'all, at the 5. We know Brittany Griner, she had a really good year last year. I think she's going to be even better having another year under her belt. But then they also signed Rebecca Allen. Then they drafted Jazz Shelley and Charisma Osborne, 2 guards, y'all, that are defensive-minded. They're very athletic, so that just increases the athleticism to this team. And then they also signed Kiki Herbert-Harrigan and Air Hearn. So you look at the depth on this team, it's insane, y'all. I mean, seriously, they did not have all this depth on their team last year, but now they have it. So you really love what the Mercury have in terms of their depth. You look at their next strength, y'all, they have a ton of ball handlers / playmakers. I mean, like I said, Tasha Cloud, she's one of the best passing point guards in the league. But you also have Shug Southern, y'all, who they signed last year in free agency. And Shug, she averaged nearly 5 assists per game for them. So you love the ball handling in your backcourt. And then, DT, she can give you about 4 or 5 assists per game. But then I like the ball handling and playmakers they have on the wing, y'all, particularly with Kalia Copper. Now, Kalia Copper, she doesn't average a lot of assists, but she can create for herself and for her teammates. But really, she's a really great ball handler, right? She can bring the ball up the court. She can initiate offense. Love that. And then also, y'all, like I said, they signed Air Hearn. And Air Hearn, she's more to me of a shooting guard, but she's a really good ball handler. We saw what she's done in AU the last couple of years, so you really love that. And then also their young guards, Charisma Osborne and Jazz Shelley, particularly Jazz Shelley. I think Jazz Shelley, she's a better passer than Charisma Osborne, but don't be surprised if Jazz Shelley gets missed. Now, that's going to be tough because at point guard, like I said, they do have Tasha Cloud and they have Shug Southern, but I think Jazz Shelley gets a miss because she's a very good passer. I think she's one of the best passers coming out of this draft, but you just love the ball handlers and the playmakers that they have on this team. You look at their next strength, y'all, they have really good perimeter defenders started by Rebecca Allen, right? We know what Rebecca Allen last year did for Connecticut. She averaged nearly a block per game. Rebecca Allen's a really, really good all-around defender, y'all. She's tall, she's long, she can guard like 3 or 4 positions, which is amazing. Kalia Copper, she's also a really good defender. She doesn't average a ton of steals or blocks, but she's always in the right position. You're talking about Tasha Cloud, y'all. She's very scrappy on the defensive end. DT, even at her advanced age, DT can still, play some solid defense when she feels like it. And then Charisma Osborne, who I believe might be the best perimeter defender on this entire team, y'all. I mean, Charisma Osborne, we know she, in my opinion, the last 3 years at UCLA, she was the best perimeter defender in women's college basketball. I mean, this is a young woman that will pick you up 94 feet. So you love that. And then also, y'all, Brittany Griner can play a little bit of perimeter defense. So you just love all the perimeter defenders that this team has. You look at their next strength, y'all. They are a tough and energetic team. This is a team. They have a lot of personalities, y'all. A lot of women that are very loud, that are very vocal, right? Started by DT. We know DT is one of the most fiercest competitors to ever step foot on the basketball court, man or women, y'all. I mean, seriously, she is just so competitive. And DT will do anything it takes to help her team win. Tasha Cloud, she brings that energy as well, y'all. We already know about Kalia Copper, her being a kid from North Philly. Man, Kalia Copper does not play any games. And then we know BG, she's very tough, and she's not afraid to be loud either, right? BG's not afraid to be loud. She's not afraid to be vocal, and she can trash talk a little bit. So you love just the toughness that this team have. Very energetic group. Y'all also with Sophie Cunningham, right? We know Sophie Cunningham is probably the biggest trash talker on this team. We saw what she did when she was at college in Missouri, right? She was not afraid to trash talk South Carolina and the players they had on their team at that time. So you love just what they have in terms of being a tough team, being energetic, being exciting, being fun, being able to get in people's faces and say, hey, this is what I'm gonna do to you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And y'all, to me, their last strength is that they should not have any problem scoring. I mean, you look at all the scoring that this team has, right? Sophie Cunningham, DT, BG, Tasha Cloud, Kalia Copper, even Rebecca Allen, she can get, score a little bit. Charisma Osborne and Jazz Shelley potentially come off the bench. Shug Sutton, last year, she averaged nearly 9 points per game. So they have a lot of scoring. There's no reason that the Mercury should not be averaging at least like 85 plus points per game. I mean, seriously, y'all, this team has a lot of scores. And like I said earlier, this is great for DT, right? This should be able to extend DT's career because now she will not be counted on to have to score like, 19, 20, 21 points every game because they went out, they increased the talent, they increased the depth. And because of that, she on some nights will be able to take a backseat. I mean, y'all, I think DT will be able to have some games where she only scores like 10 or 12 points a night because, Tasha's going to give you about 12 to 13. Kalia Copper's going to give you about, 15 to 16, 17 points. Sophie Cunningham can get you about 12 to 13. Rebecca Allen can get you about 8 to 10 points. Charisma Osborne can get you, 7 to probably 10 points. So just all the scoring that they have on this team. BG is going to get you about 17 to 18 points. So all the scoring, y'all, that they have on this team, they should not have any problem scoring. So, y'all, let's get into their weaknesses. And I think their first weakness is their center depth. I mean, behind Brittany Griner, they don't have a center on this roster that I really trust, y'all. I mean, let's be honest, right? I mean, they have Natasha Mack, but she hasn't really, proven to be a consistent player yet. They also have Maya Hollinshead, the same thing. So right now, you talk about they have centers, but the depth is not fantastic because the players that they do have are not proven players. I think the Mercury needs to do whatever it takes to either trade or sign a center before the season starts next week, y'all. Seriously, because right now, you cannot go in the season having BG as your only center that you really can trust playing. Okay, that's not great because you're talking about a team like the Aces, you're talking about a team like the Wings or the Sun, y'all, or even the Dream teams that have like really good post players, really good centers. They are going to just annihilate the Phoenix Mercury because the Phoenix Mercury does not have that depth that you need at center. You look at their next weakness, y'all, not a lot of shot blockers outside of BG, right? Again, same thing kind of with the center depth. They only have BG. Well, the good news is Rebecca Allen, their guard that they signed in free agency, she is a good shot blocker, right? Like I said earlier, she averaged about a block per game last year for the Sun. But y'all, that's still not good enough, right? If your best shot blocker or your second best shot blocker on your team is a guard, then that shows you, okay, your shot block is not that great, right? Because you really want your centers, your power forwards to be able to shot block. But outside of Brittany Griner and Rebecca Allen, it's just not a lot, right? It's just not a lot, y'all. I think same thing with center. You got to find a way to like get a shot blocking power forward center in here before the season starts to help BG, right? Because here's the thing, Rebecca Allen's going to get blocks, but her blocks are like on the perimeter. You need somebody that's like an interior shot blocker, right? Somebody like an Elizabeth Williams, somebody like a Cheyenne Parker, like somebody that can actually block shots from in the paint. So that way when a guard comes in, she can just swat that thing out of bounds, right? They don't have that outside of Brittany Griner. Even though, like I said, Rebecca Allen's a good shot blocker, but y'all, a lot of her block shots are going to come from the perimeter, right? Where the player she's guarding shoots a jump shot and then she blocks it that way. But you need somebody that can actually control that paint and stop players from coming in and scoring in the paint. And to me, y'all, their last weakness is that they could get dominated on the glass. You're talking about a team that just does not have a lot of rebounding outside of Brittany Griner. So to me, y'all, their three biggest weaknesses are because they just don't have a lot outside of Brittany Griner. Center depth, they don't have a lot outside of BG. The shot blockers, they don't have a lot outside of BG. And then rebounding, they don't have a lot of rebounding outside of BG. Which is why I think BG is going to have a fantastic year rebounding-wise because they don't have a lot of rebounders. Tasha is a solid rebounder for a point guard, right? She averaged about 4 rebounds per game last year. DT at this point in her career, y'all, she really, is not the same rebounder she was when she was younger, which makes sense. Kalia Copper is solid, but I really, really hoping y'all that Kalia Copper average maybe like 8 or 9 rebounds per game. I think Kalia Copper, with her athleticism, her size, she should average more rebounds than she does. I mean, last year, she averaged almost 6 rebounds per game. you talking about, y'all, the previous years of her career, she averaged like 3, 4, 5. She needs to be higher than that, right? Kalia Copper needs to be at least 7, 8 rebounds per game to really help out Brittany Griner. You also love, Rebecca Allen can get you about 5 or 6 rebounds per game, but she's not really that kind of player. So I just think they're going to have to find a rebounding center. I mean, really, when it comes out to the Mercury, y'all, they just need more size really up front. That's the biggest thing. They went out free agency. They got a lot of guards. They got a lot of wings, but they did not address that center spot. They have to address that. So that way BG will be fresh come playoff time. All right, y'all, so let's get into my statistical projections. So I have BG averaging 17.2 points per game, 10.3 rebounds per game, and 1.9 blocks per game. Y'all, like I said, I think Brittany Griner is going to have a dominant season. I know last year she only averaged 6.3 rebounds per game, but obviously she was coming back. She had to get her legs back under her. And I think now that she will be refreshed, she will be ready to go. She's going to have an amazing year in terms of rebounding. She's going to have to, right? I mean, like I just said, y'all, this team doesn't have a lot of rebounds, so I think BG's going to average 10.3 rebounds per game. Next up, Kalia Copper, I have her averaging 15.5 points per game, 6 rebounds and a steal per game. Now, I know last year, Kalia Copper averaged 19.7 points per game, but y'all, she was doing it on the Sky, and we know the Sky didn't have a lot of talent around her. Now that she's playing on the Mercury, I think she's going to go back down to what she averaged, back in 2021, 2022, when she was about 15, 16 points per game. So that's why I have her averaging 15.5 points per game. I still think she'll be an all-star, but you're going to see a little bit of a dip, obviously, because, again, this roster is a whole lot more talented than that Chicago Sky roster was last season. So I think because of that, Kalia Copper, her points going to go down a little bit, but she's still going to have a really great year. And then, y'all, I have DT averaging 15 points per game and 4.8 assists per game, and I have her making 63s. I think DT, like I said, she's still going to have a good year. She could make the All-Star team. I know she's going to be 42 next year, y'all, but there's one thing DT can do, and she can still score the heck out of the basketball. So, y'all, let's get into Zay's crazy predictions, my 3 predictions that could happen. So, first, y'all, I have BG will lead the league in rebounds. I think her averaging 10.3 rebounds will be enough to lead the league in rebounds. Like I said, y'all, I just think Brittany Griner, because of the way this team is constructed, she's going to have a lot of games where she averages, where she has like 13, 14, 15 rebounds per game, because they don't really have a lot of rebounding outside of her. So I think Brittany Griner is going to lead the league in rebounds. Number 2, y'all, I think Tasha Cloud will break the record for most assists in the season for a Mercury player. Right now, DT has their record for 197 assists in a single season for a Mercury player, where y'all think Tasha is going to smash that record. You look at all the talent that's on this Mercury team. I think Tasha is going to have some games where she has like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 assists. She's going to look like Magic Johnson out there, y'all. We know Tasha is a really good passing point guard, so I expect her to have a crazy year when it comes to assists. I think she's going to break that record. And then thirdly, y'all, I have Sophie Cunningham is going to win 6th Woman of the Year. I think this is going to surprise a lot of people, because a lot of people are probably going to think that Sophie Cunningham is going to start. Y'all think Rebecca Allen's going to start. I think the starting line is going to be Tasha, DT, Kalia Copper, Rebecca Allen, and BG. And the reason I think Rebecca Allen's going to start is because I think they're going to have some balance, right? Rebecca Allen is a much better defender than Sophie Cunningham. Even though Sophie Cunningham is a better scorer, their starting lineup, you have enough scoring. You need to have some scoring off the bench. You need to have some defense in the starting lineup. So I think Sophie Cunningham is going to have a huge year off the bench. We know, y'all, last year she started every single game, averaged nearly 13 points per game. And I still think she could average almost 13 points per game. But her role is going to be different. I think she needs to come off the bench. And I think she will come off the bench, right? Because it really makes the most sense. Their starting lineup, you already have enough scoring. Save some of that scoring for off the bench with Sophie Cunningham, and I think they go that route. So, y'all, let's get into my record prediction. So I think the best case for the Phoenix Mercury is that they go 25-15. If they have this record, y'all, that means that Tasha, Kalia Copper, Rebecca Allen would have come into this team and been great players for them. That means BG would have went back to her old dominant self. That means DT was still a really, really good player. And that also means like Charisma Osborne, Jazz Shelley, they're 2 rookies. They played well immediately. Suddenly she continued the success she had last year. And I think, y'all, they could reach this record if all those things happen. I think the worst case is that they're 19-21. They're below 500. And all those off-season moves that they made did not even help them out. Yeah, they only won 9 games last year. But, y'all, they didn't make those moves to say, hey, we won 9 games last year. Let's win 17, 18 games this year. No, The reason that Mercury went out and made all those moves they did during the offseason because they want to get back to the playoffs and potentially contend for a championship. So if they end up going 19-21, this would be a really disappointing season, y'all. Especially when you consider, DT is going to be 42, and she does not have a lot of years left. It's time for the Mercury to win now. But y'all, my prediction for them is that they're going to go 22-18. I do think the Mercury are going to make the playoffs. They're probably going to be a 5th or 6th seed in the standings. As y'all know, y'all, the WA is super, super, super talented right now. There are a lot of good teams in our league currently, and so I think you're not going to see a lot of teams, with like 20 or more wins, but I think the Mercury are going to be one of those teams. 22-18, y'all. I think they're going to be a really good team. I don't know if they're a championship contender, but I definitely think they could win a playoff series and get to the second round. And potentially, they could advance to like a conference finals appearance because they do have that talent. We just got to see if everything's going to be able to mesh and gel immediately. Because if it does, this team is going to be a really, really good team. So there you have it, man. That is my Phoenix Mercury 2024 WNBA preview. Y'all know I'm in it, man. I love y'all. God bless. Peace.